Welcome to this video presentation on creating a barista form that runs in a browser user interface, specifically on an Android device. We're going to start by taking the steps to take an existing IOList-based program and data file into the basis data dictionary and from the basis data dictionary into Barista. I've got our original program loaded in the basis IDE. As you can see at line 400, it contains an IO list. We're going to take this IO list, copy it, and launch the BBJ Enterprise Manager. We're in the database we want to end up in, Barista Buoy Bar, and we are going to add a new table. The table name is Buoy Customer. And the description is customers. Now at the bottom we're going to press string template. We're going to paste the IO list from the original program. Then we take the steps necessary to turn the IO list into a template. The changes would continue, and in the interest of time and through the magic of cut and paste, we're actually going to take the completed template and paste that into the template field. This is the template equivalent of the original IO list we started with. We press OK, and the Enterprise Manager parses the template and turns it into an actual table definition. We've now got our columns defined. Let's close our Enterprise Manager, launch Barista, and go to Import to Barista Dictionary. We've got a predefined project for our Barista Buoy demo. We are pulling from this dictionary. These are the applications. I'm going to press Next. And we're presented with a list of all the available tables to be imported. Buoy Customer is the one we are interested in. We would check that, press the import. The data would then be imported from the basis data dictionary into the Barista dictionary. When completed, we end up with our definition for Buoy Customer. And launch Buoy Customer in the Barista Form Designer. We're initially presented with the default top-down form created by Barista. The form currently contains all the columns specified on the table definition. Let's take some time and do some basic formatting on this form. First, we're going to create some tabs. Right-click on the last name control, specify Create New Tab, and let's make this Contact for the tab title. Press OK, and we've now got our first tab. Our second tab will start with the salesperson. Right-click, Create New Tab, and we'll call that tab Miscellaneous. And the third tab, let's put all the balances. So right-click on the current balance, Create New Tab, Balances. We've now got 3 tabs. Let's do a little more formatting just to tidy up the controls. We'll tighten that up. Let's add some white space between the logical entry controls. This will make the entry and the use of this form a bit easier when we leave white space. For the miscellaneous, we will just move things a little bit over to the left. And for the balances, same thing. We'll move things over to the left a little bit and just create a few gaps for the logical areas. Okay, so we've now got a pretty good rudimentary form set up. The second consideration is the real estate available on the Android display. Barista normally sizes forms based on data element lengths and the number of controls on a form. Let's start out by giving ourselves a guide. Right-click on the form designer, select Set Resolution, scroll down and select Droid Portrait, press OK. You'll now be presented with a visual guideline for the Android display. We know that everything on this form must reside within that frame if it's going to display correctly. We can see we've got a company control which is too long. Let's go ahead and select that and resize that. Let's make it 180 pixels and refresh the form. Now we can also see that the tab created by Barista resides outside of the target frame. This means that a control somewhere on one of these tabs is still too long. Let's click on the Miscellaneous tab and we can see that it's the Salesperson control. Let's go ahead and select Salesperson and also change that width to 180 pixels. Let's refresh the form and we can now see that we are entirely within the target frame. Let's go ahead and run the form, which in this case builds and runs. And we can see that we now have a correctly sized set of controls. Keep in mind, Barista standards allow you to resize forms and locations. This is something that we need to, for the time being, stop for the Android display. We can accomplish that using call points. Right-click on BUI Customer, select Edit Call Points, and let's go to the After Window Create call point. We want to enter two items. First, we want to ensure that the form starts at position 0, 0. Second, we want to ensure that the form always starts with the correct size. 308 by 432 is the correct size for the droid. Now if we run the form, the form always starts at position 0, 0 and is resized automatically to 308 by 342. We're now ready to configure this to run in the browser. We configure the browser application by launching the BBJ Enterprise Manager and selecting BUI configuration. Press the New button, and let's enter our application information. Our title is Barista BUI Cust. Let's go ahead and save this record. And we are now done and ready to try this on our Android device. Let's launch the Droid emulator and test the configuration we just created in the BBJ Enterprise Manager. First, we start by entering the URL and press the Go button. The emulator is now locating the configuration file we created and rendering the BUI form. And as you can see, with a few simple steps, we've created a form that runs both in the GUI environment and the browser user interface environment. As you can see, the form works exactly the way the standard GUI form would work. We can press the Next button and display records, and display the information on each of the tabs. Our next step is to create a bookmark so we can place a shortcut on the desktop. We'll press the shortcut button, press Add, accept the defaults for name and location, then press the desktop button. Click and hold on the desktop. And we want to add a shortcut to the home screen. Select shortcut type bookmark. And select the customer's bookmark that we just created. We've now got our shortcut to our buoy form. If you click the shortcut, it will redisplay the form. Using the Barista application framework, we were able to quickly create a form that runs in GUI, buoy, and is cross-browser compliant. We encourage you to try this exciting new tool and see how it can boost your productivity today.